A lot of people come to the 55 and over park October through March when they are wintering. And this is mid-March and a lot of people have already started going home. So it's a beautiful day. It's in the 70s. The entire pool could be yours to yourself once mid-March hits. Welcome everyone to my channel. I'm Bonita. I am from Kansas, but right now I am wintering in South Texas. I'll be going home at the end of April. I'm sharing my journey with you in early retirement, in frugal living, in saving money and cutting expenses, and I hope that you will come along with me as I share part of the 55 and over community park that I'm in right now with you. I have shared a big portion of it before. I'm going to show you some other things today, and we're going to talk about being alone, why I'm alone down here when I'm married, how that is working out for me, and things I have learned from this journey. One of the many things I like to do is take walks every day when the weather is like this. That's one of the things that I've started doing since I retired early, is focusing on my health. Not to mention the scenery is just gorgeous when you're walking through the park. Some people have their yards decorated so cute that you could just walk this whole thing and just see so much scenery and fun stuff that it just makes your exercising fun. And the trees down here are so cool. Beautiful flowers, and this is winter down here. And fresh oranges just for the picking. I promised I'd take you with me on my early retirement, so here we are, South Texas. They have cabins that you can rent down this whole row, and they even have apartments. I'm not sure what kind of tree this is, but it's really unusual. This is a big bird watching area here in the Rio Grande Valley, and this is a Mexican crow. And as you can see, they're not shy at all. They come right up, walk right by you, come right by the camper with the cat looking outdoors, which just gives him fits. But they're just not a bit shy, and a lot of people come down here just to bird watch. There's a lot of bird watching facilities down here. The facilities are just outstanding. This is the pickleball court, another one, and everybody loves this game, but I hear from so many people about all the injuries they end up with. So here is a tour of our superb on-site library here at the 55 and over park. I mean, it's amazing. We have a little community library where I live at home that we share with the school. And I tell you, this one is almost as big as that one. I'm really impressed with their selection of books and how much they have. They are all on the honor system. You just borrow them and return them when you're done. They have a little self-drop box right here, and then they also have where you can donate books if you have some that you want to donate to the library. It's phenomenal. One of the things that I brought with me to do is some embroidery. I'm usually not a cross stitch person. I usually do more designs, but I've had these for a long time and they weren't finished. And I thought rather than buy more, I'm just going to finish these up. I like to do the ones that are tabletop scarves. I still use those. I'm old fashioned. I grew up with those. I use them on our dressers, sometimes on our TV stand, on top of our stereo cabinet, just different places like that. And since we have several different bedrooms, I'm able to use several of them. I brought this with me as well as my books and some other things to do, just things that I enjoy that I feel like I never really have time to do at home. And since I'm retired now, I'm spending more time doing some of those projects and getting back some of those hobbies that had gone by the wayside. And I love doing it on days like this. It is about 70 something. It's nice and cool outside. I could be doing it from my lawn chair even. This bed is a little bit more comfortable, so I'm doing it in here today. And with all the windows open, it just reminds me of the days when my kids were small and we had the pop-up camper and all of the vinyl sides would be unzipped and you could just sit in there almost like your own little screened in front porch and just enjoy the weather even though you're not outdoors. So that's what I'm doing for part of my day today. So sometimes you wonder when you have a YouTube channel how much to share with your viewers. I know many of you have been concerned that I decided to come in my RV and winter in Texas without my husband. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about alone time and what it's like to have alone time if you are not used to it, how you ever get to the point to being comfortable with being alone if you're not comfortable with that, and a little bit of backstory on why I'm down here by myself. So when we first made plans to retire early and to come down here in the winter and chose where we were going to come, the plans were for him to come with me. But he was still working. He enjoyed his job. He wanted his Social Security projections to go up a bit. His were not as high as he wanted them to be. So he wanted to get some more work time under his belt. I, on the other hand, had been working 2 and 3 jobs my whole life, raising 6 children in the process, putting them all through college, and I was just to the point that I was done. I was having some health issues and a lot of pain day to day, and we decided as a couple that it was best for me to go ahead and retire early because of all of those reasons. So I went ahead and I decided to end work at the end of October, and I had been planning this for quite some time. Now, if you know my backstory, I went from being in my parents' home to getting married at a young age and went straight from my parents' home to my marriage home. I never spent any time living alone. Then I began having children. And again, I never spent time alone. Just to give you some crazy numbers that only have to do with me and my life. I had kids in school from 1989 to 2017. That was just kindergarten through high school. So for 28 years, I had kids in grade school and high school. Then my kids began college in 2001. So I had my oldest begin college in 2001. I still had my other kids at home going to school through 2017. So I had kids in college and transitioning for 16 years before the last one left and I had an empty nest. I went back to college in 1996, and I went back to college in 1996 to get the last 2 years of my bachelor's degree so that I could afford to put all of my kids through college. And I did that with 5 kids at home. I ended up having the sixth one while I was going to college. And I got done and graduated in 2000, with my oldest child graduating high school in 2001. And my goal was so that I could put my kids through college and pay to put them through college myself. And that's what I did. So my kids are now aged 25 to 40, and my youngest is still in college. He's in a PhD program. He's independent. He's on his own, but technically he's still in college. So that is my backstory. I have never been alone all of those years. For someone like me who's never been alone, it's not something I aspired to do. It's not something I wanted to do. I didn't even know what that would feel like. I didn't know that I would like it. And that's part of the reason we opened our second business and had it ready to open in October after my last one left home in August, because I didn't know what to do with myself, and I had to throw myself into another project because I did not know how to be alone, and I had to stay busy. If there was no kids at home, I had to stay busy. I could not bear going home to an empty house, even though I had my husband. So those are some transitions that I personally went through. So when we decided to come down here, and then my husband decided to not come, he said, "You can still go." And I said, "I don't know that I should go without you." And he said, "The winters hurt your back. They cause you to have muscle spasms and muscle cramps. I don't want you having to spend another winter here. It's very uncomfortable for you. I think you should still go. You've been looking forward to it." And I said, "I think I should be where you're at." So we talked this through. His heart was still staying there, being able to continue on a pool team that he'd been on for 20 years, that he had just signed back up for. He had had to stop this while we had our businesses. He didn't have time to go. These were lifelong friends of his. He had committed to going back and playing another season with them. And then we decided this. And so everything kind of got intermingled. And he decided to stay and do what he loved, being on the pool team. And I decided to come anyway and spend the winter with his parents next door, wintering down here, which is what I wanted to do. Yes, it seemed like it was a very strange arrangement, but we FaceTime every single day. In fact, sometimes he FaceTimes me, and when I answer it, one of the cat's faces are in the FaceTime, like the cat called me. But we FaceTime every single day. We talk every single day. He's looking forward to me coming home. Everything is fine on the home front, just so everyone is aware. But this time of me being here, basically by myself, living by myself, cooking by myself. Yes, my in-laws are next door, but doing activities most of the time by myself has been so good for me. I hear about people that talk about taking a sabbatical or taking a year off from work. I always thought that sounded so nice, but then you're like, what would I do with myself? Which is like a lot of retired people think when they quit. What do I do now? What do I do now? I had tons of things I wanted to do now. And I've been able to explore those things, regain hobbies that I had put by the wayside way back when, and be able to get excited about those things again and have time for those things again and focus on myself for really the first time in my life. It was hard to leave some of my adult children that live in Kansas. I'm excited to go back and see them, but this time has been so good for me. So I can already tell it's affected like how positive I feel, how vibrant I feel, how much energy I have. So if you have never been alone or you don't know how to be alone, I encourage you to look deep within yourself and try to find those things that you used to love or things that you might love now and try them. Venture out, do some of those things. You won't regret it. I am loving this. I thought the other day I'm halfway through my stay, and then I thought, oh, I'm already halfway through my stay. So, see how my transition is? I'm already counting down when I leave, and I'm kind of not wanting to leave. But I'm already starting a list, a healthy list of things I'm going to do when I get home. So, again, I have things to look forward to, things I want to accomplish, things I'm excited about. And I think that's the whole trick to keeping yourself motivated no matter what you're doing, is to find those things of interest and find those things that give you energy and find those things that give you excitement for the future. So I spent most of my life focused on my kids. My kids are still a huge part of my life. My grandchildren are ages 1 to 21. I've always had a packed schedule, and for the first time in my life, I have minimal schedule down here. I have really thrived, I guess is what I want to say. Learning to be alone has been good for me. It has been something that I've been able to look deep within myself and I guess find myself again, which I think sounds crazy. I've always heard people talk about it, but I totally get it now. So I just wanted to share some of that with you, share some of the park with you, so that you could understand why I took this journey. Now, next year, I don't know what it holds. There's a whole year between now and next year to determine what I'm going to do. And I'll be figuring this out through the rest of the seasons with you. So I hope you'll stick around. Thanks for watching today, and I hope to see you in the next video.